Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to some Spring Cup action where we are going to be taking you through some of my first battles in the Spring Cup where I test out a pretty toxic, a pretty degenerate team featuring Empoleon, Golisopod, and the degenerate star of the show, Shadow Mawile. Not only does this Pokemon rely almost entirely on its fast attacks, I'm running Frustration on my Shadow Mawile for no reason other than I haven't TM'd it during a Team Rocket event. Frustration is literally the worst charge attack. It's barely even a charge attack. It's 70 energy for like almost no damage. And the strategy with this team is to try and save shields for Mawile. Also, Empoleon slept on Core Breaker in this meta with Metal Claw now. You generate energy. Okay, it's still not the best fast attack, but it's a little bit better than it used to be. And Empoleon is going to be able to do well, hopefully, against Galarian Weezing, which is like everywhere in this meta, and also against things like Cradily and Lapras. It's pretty neutral against Lapras, resisting everything. So here we go. Let's see if Mawile can shred these opponents. They swap into a Klefki, and I was like so confused at what I was looking at. It took me a while to swap into Mawile, and I actually catch a move in the process. Did I know what Klefki was going to throw here? No. But we catch a foul play. We catch a foul play. You learn some new things in these new cups. And Mawile going to be waiting, and Starmie comes back, and I overfarm to maybe make them think I'm going for some sort of hard-hitting attack. But little do they know, we only have Power-Up Punch, and we get the Protect Shield. Let's go. They're going to fire off a Surf most likely before we get to another Power-Up Punch. And I think I'm actually going to come in Pod. Yeah, because I have the super effective Shadow Claws. And now remember, Starmie has access to Power Gem, so I do want to respect that. And we do correctly shield the Power Gem here. In comes their own Mawile. They're having the same idea. But we have a huge head start here with Pod. We're almost at 2 Aqua Jets. First one gets the final shield. Second one is going to connect, and Mawile just does not have the bulk to comfortably take the Aqua Jet. We swap into Empoleon. I figure this is probably just a Power-Up Punch since the other charge attacks would be resisted. We get the farm down. We still have a shield to hide behind. Pretty comfortable spot here. I'm going to go for the game-winning Drill Peck with our Emperor Penguin, who marches to victory. March of the Penguins. What a classic movie. I feel like that was like a cultural event almost. That little documentary movie. What a day that was. Going to the movie theater, seeing March of the Penguins for the first time. Seeing the Macaroni Penguins, the Emperor Penguins. But this is a different type of penguin. This is Empoleon, the Core Breaker. And you know, it's a shame that we're playing Empoleon and Mawile together, because I feel like both of these two deserve their own solo feature video, you know? But this might have to go to Mawile for pure toxicity reasons. Pure frustration, Mawile reasons. Here we go. Let's fast forward. We're in the Q time zone. At the time of making this video, I am at 2985 ELO, so if you feel like maybe watching me hit Legend live, it's possible. It's certainly not certain, but it's possible it'll happen today over on Twitch. Empoleon into Lapras. Now, Lapras, I believe, wins all even shield scenarios, which is kind of crazy, right? Because we can actually hit it for neutral damage with this Drill Peck versus they're only hitting us for resisted damage, but it's because they outpace us, and the Sparkling Aria is just a little bit more efficient of a move. So it is going to be able to just about two-shot us here. But it looks like we actually do hang on to get to a second Drill Peck. And now, do we consider maybe pivoting out to avoid the farm down if we're going to lose switch anyway? That's what we're going to do. And we're met by their own Golisopods. We're in the mirror match here. And it looks like a charge attack priority. We are going to win. X's or connects, and I am going to invest in the pod, actually, because I feel like if I play this out, I could come out super healthy compared to theirs and get some farm. We're going to throw immediately, force them to either use their final or their first Protect Shield or let pod go down. They let pod go down, and it's G Weezy in the back. Going to go for Aqua Jet And we actually get a charge attack priority, which is like best case scenario for us. Because now we can let this go, and we're hopeful that we can just Fire Fang this thing down completely before they could potentially bait us and then go for an overheat. These Fire Fangs are really chunking, and this is only Brutal Swing or a Sludge. This cannot be an overheat. So we take the Sludge, resist it, that still does a lot. And yeah, I'm just committing to fast attacks at this point. I'm going to shield for sure. I feel like throwing the power-up punch would almost be unnecessary. I do have 2, I guess, so maybe it would be worth at this point, but that is a G to the G. Maybe we could have thrown a Frustration there if they didn't top left for the BM. Is there any use to Frustration? There is literally no use other than BM to flex on your opponent that you're running Frustration. That is the only use. It literally does the least amount of damage of any charge attack, 10 base damage for 70 energy. That is an incredibly large amount of energy to expend to use it. We looked it up. 1 Frustration does slightly more than 1 Fire Fang. So you're almost better just committing to Fire Fangs than you are actually going for a Frustration. Here we go. Searching for that next opponent. Who's it gonna be? Who dares challenge the Mawile? It's Pirate King Wings. Ooh, Jelly. Tough lead. We're gonna safe swap Pod here, which is like kind of our only answer. They counter swap in Amoonguss. Now, Amoonguss is on the bulkier side. It's gonna be able to withstand the X-Scissor pretty well. And do I invest in the Pod here? I do, and I correctly shield Grass Knot, which is nice. I didn't get baited by Foul Play. Gonna go for an X-Scissor here. And they should still be 1 Astonish away from their next attack. I get a shield. This is great for me because I'm gonna get to another one now. X-Scissor is going to grab the final shield. Then I go for a catch on Mawile. Because Mawile is going to be kind of dead weight anyway against the Jelly. So I figure maybe this could give us some use. We're kind of just sacrificing it. And this is probably best case scenario that we're forcing them to expend energy. Because I guess they don't know that we're potentially running Play Rough. So maybe they wanted to get rid of us as soon as possible. I do end up making a mistake here. I did not wait out my switch clock. And by not waiting out my switch clock, if I had done that, I would have been able to swap Emp here and avoided this farm down. But now Jelly just has so much energy that they're going to be able to reach double Shadow Ball against our Empoleon. So I did not have the foresight there of waiting out my switch clock. And there is a Trevenant in back. I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the game, but it's possible. Drill Peck going to be super effective, but not quite enough against this double Ghost line. And Jelly lead is pretty tough for this team, I got to admit. Jelly lead is pretty tough. So that could be something to be concerned about if you try to copy this team. Do I recommend this team? Yes and no. It's like you're going to just win some games based off core breaking the opponent with Empoleon Mawile. But it's probably not like the safest team because something like a if there's any sort of Mud Slapper or like Fighter or Jelly in the lead, like you get core broken pretty easily. But this is what we're trying to seek is the Galarian Weezing lead, super effective Metal Claws, and then in comes the Jelly. And this is fine. This is fine when we can align Pod with Jelly. And I'm actually going to shield because I figure we've already committed a shield. They're not likely going to bait me here. So I shield the Shadow Ball. Going to overfarm a lot. And they're already at the next Shadow Ball here, 5-4. So I probably should have thrown immediately, just in case I didn't survive this. But I thought I would hang on. Not as not as comfortable, though, as I thought it would be. That was really close to KOing. We do get off the parting Aqua Jet still. And then it is Cradily in back now. Can Mawile power through this? Fire Fang's going to hit for neutral damage because of that Grass Rock dual typing. Rock Tomb, not quite enough. We go for the power-up punch here. Are they going to start shielding? They are. They're afraid of the fast attacks. Now, the smart thing for Cradily here would be to go for Grass Knocks. I don't think Rock Tomb would be quite enough. Very smart, but unfortunately for them, Grass Knot was not enough either. Actually undercharged this Power Up Punch so I can get some farm with my Empoleon. And now we should be in a good spot because we are not going to get one shot by a Grass Knot. And I don't know why I went for Dropek there. That was just kind of a brain fart. You want to go for Hydro Cannon there. It's the more efficient attack. So that was just us throwing the wrong move there. But didn't matter. Still did enough damage where we can just Metal Claw down. And that is a GG. I think that was already 4 battles. Just one left in this set. Our background, our beautiful background has gone away. I feel like that glitch happens a little bit more often now. And here we go. Can we clinch the 4-1 set on our Legend Climb? Empoleon into another Weezing. This is great. They swap in a Moongus. I counter swap with Mawile. And I get a little bit lucky here because if they had gone for like Sludge Bomb or Grass Knot, they'd probably flip switch on me. But they went for Foul Play instead, so I actually tanked the Foul Play and farm all the way down. I was hopeful they'd come in with Weezing and maybe I'd get a shield with them scared of Iron Head, but no, they come in Jelly, and they're just going to be able to tank both of these, no problem. So this is not ideal. But check this out. They don't know the counts. They thought maybe I had a Play Rough after the Power-Up Punch. So I get a free shield there, which is actually massive for us. This could very well be a bait, and it is a bait, so a nice call by us. And then we can line up our Empoleon here. We're looking to be in a pretty good position. Hydro Cannon coming through. Will it grab the final Protect Shield? No, they're going to let it connect. And I figure even if this is an overheat, I should be able to live. And as long as I save shields for Pod, my Shadow Claw damage should be enough. We actually called the Sludge Bait. So a pretty frustrating loss for the opponent. That game just did not go their way. Maybe they were on the phone with the girl next door, and they weren't concentrating. That was a tough one there, but we get the win. 4-1 set with this Frustration Shadow Mawile team. Do I recommend it? I don't know about that, but it can partially core break your opponents and get you some positive situations. Shadow Mawile just very oppressive in the back. So if you can like lure out the counter to it or get rid of the counter to it, Mawile can be just really oppressive with fast attacks in this meta. So it's a fun little Pokemon to try out. Obviously, if you have one that's double move that you've TM'd, like use Iron Head or Play Rough for sure. Because you might find yourself in a situation where that could be super useful and change the outcome of a game. So yeah, Frustration, it's very much not ideal, but it's a little bit funny when you can like get by with a Pokemon, even though it has Frustration, just because it relies more heavily on its fast attack pressure. All of that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks once again. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.